I used to think death gave some warning before it came. A cough that lingered, a strange fatigue, something to prepare the heart for the silence to come. But Chief Obiora's death came like a thief in the middle of laughter, and it left me with questions I am still too afraid to ask. That evening, we had attended Senator Okafor's birthday party. The hall glittered with gold drapes and chandeliers, the kind of place where men like Chief felt most alive. He was in his element, shaking hands, boasting about a new contract, introducing me, always with that proud smile, as his young jewel. I remember rolling my eyes at him, whispering that he should stop calling me that. But he just laughed, his big chest rising and falling, and kissed the back of my hand in front of everyone. People clapped and teased us. I didn't know it would be the last time I would feel his lips against my skin. It happened so suddenly. One minute, he was telling a joke about his days as a struggling trader. The next, his laughter cut off, and he clutched his chest. At first, people thought he was dramatizing the story. Chief was known for his theatrics, but when his body crumpled onto the tiled floor, the music stopped. Guests screamed, chairs scattered, and I fell to my knees beside him, his eyes bulged as if searching for me. I screamed his name again and again, but his lips moved without sound. By the time the ambulance came, his hands were already cold. The funeral came quickly, faster than my heart could process. His brothers took over arrangements, insisting on traditions. They gave me black wrappers, sat me in the widow's corner, and paraded me before mourners like some exhibit. I stayed quiet, believing that grief was enough battle on its own, but I was wrong. Barely a week after we laid him in the ground, whispers began to crawl like snakes through the compound. She is too young. She must have wanted his money. Did she poison him? The people who had smiled at me during the burial now looked at me with suspicion. His eldest son avoided my eyes. His sisters hissed when I passed. That was when I realized my real battle was only just beginning. I noticed it first during condolence visits. People came with cartons of malt, envelopes of money, bags of rice. Instead of placing them before me as the widow, Chief's elder brother, Uncle Matthew, began collecting everything. "It's for the family," he would say, tucking the envelopes into his agbada pocket. I did not argue. I was still drowning in tears, too weak to fight. But the whispers grew louder. One afternoon, I heard two of Chief's nieces hissing that I had killed him. Later, his son Chike called a meeting and looked me in the eye. "Auntie Amara, we need to know what you gave my father that night. He was strong before the party." My body shook. "What do you mean?" I asked. "You cooked his last meal," he said coldly. "How are we sure you didn't put something in it?" His uncle added, "The truth will come out." Their eyes were daggers, their hatred spreading into the neighborhood. Even the market women who once greeted me warmly now tightened their lips when I passed. Still, I thought the autopsy would silence them. But instead of peace, new storms gathered. The bank manager came, asking for the next of kin. Chief had written Chike's name, not mine. The manager unfolded papers showing Chief's businesses were drowning in debt. Chike glared at me. "You drove him into debt with your greed." I was too shocked to reply. Then came the women. First, Nika, with a little boy, claiming Chief promised to pay his fees till university. Then another woman with teenage girls. Mistresses and abandoned children emerged like ghosts from shadows. Each looked at me with either pity or hatred. Every discovery painted Chief not as the flawless husband I thought I knew, but as a man of secrets. And the family used it against me, calling me the reason for his downfall. At night, I lay awake, torn between anger and loyalty. Should I expose everything to clear my name, or protect his memory, even if it meant letting people believe I killed him? The courtroom became my battlefield. Chief's family sat opposite me like an army. Their lawyer painted me as a schemer, a young girl who married an older man for money. They said I distracted him while he neglected his business. Then Nika, the mistress, took the stand in a black dress, crying as if she were the widow. She claimed Chief was unhappy at home and had promised to marry her. To the judge, her tears looked genuine. Mine had become invisible. I wept at night, begging God to end my disgrace. Only one ember of hope remained: the autopsy. When the report was finally read, the doctor's voice cut through the silence. Chief Obiora died of cardiac arrest caused by years of untreated hypertension. There was no trace of poison, no foul play of any kind. The courtroom erupted. Gasps, whispers. disbelief. Chief's family looked crushed. My lawyer squeezed my hand and whispered, "You're free." But what did freedom mean when everything else was gone? Outside, journalists bombarded me. "How do you feel being vindicated? Will you sue the family? Did you know about the mistresses?" I said nothing. Silence was my only shield. When I returned home, the compound was empty. The family who once circled me like vultures had vanished. I walked through Chief's study, touching the polished desk where he once signed checks with confidence. Now, all that remained were unpaid bills and fading photographs. I stood at the window, watching the sunset bleed across the sky. I had been cleared of murder, but I was no longer the woman who entered this house as Chief's bride. I was something else now, scarred, yes, but stronger. That night, I packed a small bag. I left behind the black wrappers, the debts, the whispers, and the title of Nunye Chief. I walked out into the night as simply Amara, widow, survivor woman. Though I had lost my husband, my family, and my place in society, I carried one thing with me that no court, no gossip, no betrayal could take away: my dignity. The chapter of Chief's life had ended, but mine was just beginning.